What's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. Now, I'm Alex, and in this video, we're going to go over how to win every new level in Fall Guys Season 4. So there are 7 new levels added, obviously some very different than others, and I want to break down very briefly how to win at all of them. Okay, so we're going to jump right in, and we're going to start with Skyline Stumble. Now, some of these are far easier in my opinion than others, and I'll explain some of those when I get to them. So pretty much what you need to know about this one to start off is I would say try to separate yourself from the group. I hope you'll probably see different variations of me trying this. Sometimes if you start out in the front, it can be very, very easy to kind of separate. If you're not, you just really need to stay away from everybody and just take those jumps very, very nicely. For this pinball thing, I would say just wait for it to switch to a side and go to the opposite side. You can jump on the buttons. I really don't. I mean, sometimes I do it for fun. I really don't think there's anything that could hurt you there. Those lasers, you either just walk obviously right under them or right above them. And then this, the laser kind of floor thing, pretty darn easy. I would say as soon as you see the one to like next to each other pop out, jump on it, like immediately, just jump on it. And then you get to this. Now this is a little bit confusing. My best tips for this part would be just follow what's open. And then when you get to the ending here, just keep going around until you find the opening. Yes, you can press buttons, and yes, that'll obviously, open up new, ways of going. But I would say just the best way of doing it is just find that opening. Then you get to the swings. That one is a little bit more difficult. I would say either you play it very safe by staying to either the very inside or very outside, or you try to jump over them. Like you literally try to jump. They'll hit you, and that can sometimes get you rolling in the right way where you'll actually dodge other of these swinging things because one will hit you. But either way, I would say just kind of take it nice and slow, nice and steady, and you should be fine. You can go up the pinball machine here towards the very end. I prefer to just go on the side. It's so easy. Obviously, just walk up the side, jump. Again, try to maintain distance from each other, and make sure you're doing it with a little bit of distance from the next platform, too. You don't want to jump when you're underneath the platform, and that's something that I think will just kind of take time to get, and that is it. If you're low on time, if you're at the very end, I think you should probably try the pinball machine because you can get up there pretty darn fast. But again, sometimes when you're up there and you're flying around, you can really bounce around, and it may just not be a really good deal. All right, I want to do 2 of them that are pretty weird, and I'll explain why. Power Trip and also Basket Fall. Now, in my time playing, I played Power Trip, and I played this game for about 6 hours yesterday. I played Power Trip a grand total of 2 times, and I played Basket Fall a grand total of 1. So don't take my gameplay for any, like I'm not a master at it. But one thing, I think I actually lost all of them, but I do want to say what I maybe learned from them. So when it comes to Power Trip, you grab the battery and you run, right? That's the most important thing. So you're trying to get the most tiles humanly possible. Now, what I've noticed, a couple of key things. Now, my team didn't do this, but this is what I would have done if I was on a good team. And I'm not saying I'm the greatest player either, but you want to remain separate from everybody else. Think about it. If you're trying to get as many tiles as humanly possible, grouping up with your team where you're both kind of stepping on the same platforms is not a good idea. You really want to separate. You want to invade the enemy, like the other team's territory, to try to take over their tiles. But I would say if you see your teammate with a battery close to you, don't go near them, because then you're not, I would say, like, you're not grabbing as much of the tiles as humanly possible. And then another thing I noticed with the other team is they focus pretty one of the team, actually I don't even think I recorded this, but the other team, they focus very heavily on trying to steal our batteries, so we just didn't have any. They came up to us, they grabbed us, so the batteries popped out, and that created chaos where it's like we weren't getting tiles because 3 or 4 of the other team was messing with us. So, those are things, again, I haven't won this, but I've only played it twice out of 6 hours. I doubt you'll even be able to play this mode, but if you do that, those would be my 2 tips. And then Basket Fall, dear Jesus, this one's even harder. So again, 6 hours, I played this one a grand total of 1 time. To me, it's like Egg Scramble. It's one that I really don't ever want to play another time. I would probably say best thing, it depends on your play style. I mean, if you're really good at grabbing things, like literally pressing R2 or RT or whatever, and grabbing it and moving, then you probably want to be kind of an offensive player where you're trying to take the ball and actually score, okay, and you have to use zero gravity kind of do that. For me, I prefer, and I kind of did both in the gameplay that I actually did play. I tried to do both. I tried to score, and then I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And then I tried to just kind of create chaos, which, again, as you've seen from Power Trip, it can actually work. Creating chaos actually kind of can work. So going around just making sure they can't score is honestly equally as good as making sure that you can score. All right, back to ones that I actually know what I'm talking about now. Hoverboard Hoops. Now, I think this one's actually really awesome. So this is one, you need to stay on the platform. This is one you can actually be eliminated from. So my tricks here, and I do this, I like to do this, I try to stay towards the front of the hoverboard. And that's because, and maybe you guys are seeing the one where I kind of messed up in the beginning, if you do get hit by the lasers, and then you're kind of knocked back, if you're already towards the back, you're gone. But if you're in the front, even, now actually the first time I played this, I didn't even mess up. I actually did a really good job of jumping or going under things when I needed to. But if you do mess up, you'll be knocked backwards, right? Then, obviously, for the when they throw projectiles at you, I would say, again, I like being towards the front, having my camera looking at them so I can just do kind of some dodges there. And then this part, you have to kind of go fast because the hoverboard is still moving underneath you, okay? So, there, obviously there isn't really that much time to spare. Again, pretty darn simple. When you get to this part where it's pushing you, forward and you don't want to fall, you just wait for the hoverboard, okay? You wait for the hoverboard, you use zero gravity, pretty darn easy, and then again, you have to keep going. So I would say wait till the laser is down to make that jump. See, I actually almost messed up there, but you make sure the laser is down, jump, keep going. I mean, this is pretty easy. Again, kind of the distancing thing, you can use, grabs to help you out there, and then just make sure you're back on that hoverboard by the time it gets there. This part, I think the best way is just going in the middle. I think if you're fancy or if you're skilled, which I don't doubt people are, I think they could probably just jump, through those things. And then that's all I did, okay? And then obviously you get in front of the pinball, which to me, nobody else was in the way. I don't know what it'd be like if everybody else kind of was there, but I would say just try to be towards the front and you should be just fine. Okay, short circuit. I actually really, really like this one. So I think this is pretty easy. You can do a strategy of jumping on these platforms, and one of them I actually do, and one of them I don't. Now, people can move the platform, so there is a slight danger there, but just try to find that opening. Or you could, again, climb the platforms. For the punching bag things, I would say stay on the far right side, and you'll be completely fine. And then this part, okay, I could try to walk you through every part of it, but what I would say is, no matter what happens, like if you get hit by the laser, whatever happens, however much you mess up, make sure you're still always going the way that the circle is going, and then you won't lose much time actually at all. Even if you fall multiple times, even if the laser's like knocking you over and over, you'll still fall in that circle. Then the zero gravity, I mean, just make sure you're going in the direction that they want you to. So if you can jump up, you jump up. If you can't, just kind of walk and wait for the bar to lower. You really are not going to lose any time there whatsoever. This part, you can use these platforms. I think there are a lot of good usage of, you can actually use these platforms quite well, especially the front ones when you're getting closer to the finish line, when you're trying to finish, the game. That's a really good one to try and take advantage of. Then you'll obviously have those beams come up. Just make sure you time that right where you can get in, and you do it all over again. Okay, really not too much you can say there. Like I said, just, and I think maybe I show it, maybe I don't, but towards the end, now, I guess here's kind of a pro tip. If you are really low on time, at the very end, you have the entire, platform of all the things that'll spring you. The far right one, the last one to the right, is the one you want to go on, because if that launches you, you can sneak in the right corner of the finish line. There's no reason to run to the left side because the right side also is a finish line. So again, if you're towards the back of the group, if you're about to lose, you hit that platform and you sneak in the right side of the finish line, you may be able to make it. Okay, next is roll on. So I really like this one. I guess I could walk you through all the parts of it, but I would say, because there obviously are so many parts, my best trick here is stay centered. Now, that means two things. It means when you're running, you stay straight, like your general purpose, your general trajectory is straight. When you're jumping, you're trying to jump, I would say, opposite of you. So if you're kind of on the right side, you jump to the left. If you're kind of on the left, you jump to the right. But you're always kind of maintaining that you want to go straight ahead. There's not much to be gained by jumping on one that's like really, really far, because obviously you can fall over. And then the last part, I mean, just go back and forth. You can take it very, very slowly. I like to dive sometimes towards the platform, and you're in. I really don't think this one is that hard at all. Just, I would say, don't try to get too fancy and stay centered. Don't try and go too far to the right or too far to the left, because then maybe you'll miss a platform, or maybe you'll jump and you'll jump kind of too far to one side and you'll just kind of roll right off of it, right? That would be my strategy for this one. Okay, and Big Shots is the last one. I actually think this one's really fun. In fact, I actually only played this one one time as well, but I think this is pretty easy. So what I would say here is stay, again, with the middle thing, stay in the middle. Obviously, this one is designed where if too many people are on one side, you'll fall over. So I try to stay literally almost on the line. Now, yes, I will go back and forth, and I'm trying to help the group kind of reach equilibrium, right? I'm trying to allow them to kind of be straight in the center. And then when it comes to the projectiles, honestly, the ones you have to worry about the most are the planet one and the controller one. To me, you'll see people just get knocked by them consistently. You just gotta time it right. You just gotta time it right where you see it coming and you slightly sidestep it either left or right. Again, really, there's only 2 to 3 different things that can actually hit you. I mean, yeah, like the stars can hit you, stuff like that, but a lot of those will actually only knock you down. They won't actually knock you off, and just keep going. I really don't think, a star does actually knock people off, I think, in the one I'm showing you guys, but I would say as long as you're in the center, and then if you're super scared, kind of like how we talked about with the hoverboard one, maybe go, if you see, actually, I'm always in the front half. I never kind of hang out towards the back, like where the camera's looking. And again, that's because if, as you see, and maybe I just got hit, I don't know at what time for you guys, but if you do get hit, again, you're not going to fall back all the way. If you're already towards the back, then you're done for, okay? So I believe that's it. Hopefully I got them all. Hopefully I didn't forget any. But let me know, guys, in the comments below, any tips, tricks, any strategies you would give other people for this Season 4. Again, I'm no master at them. I just kind of, observe things. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. As always, make sure you're subscribed, bell icon. If you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, PodcastNow15 is my Twitter handle. I like to do these. I've done these actually since Season 2. I've done this for Season 2, 3, and 4. Would love to continue doing it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you all on the next video.